The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard Kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard Kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Apbt, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion El Rod, Champion Yellow Bird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard Kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard Kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Apbt, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion El Rod, Champion Yellow Bird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard Kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard Kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Apbt, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion El Rod, Champion Yellow Bird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion El Rod, Champion Yellow Bird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion May Day, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, two-time Best in Show and two-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion El Rod, Champion Yellow Bird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
Mic check 1 2. Mic phone check 1 2 1 2. Let me get this up here. What up? What up? What up, everybody? Big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my people on the back street. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's that Talk Shit Tuesday thing. Yeah. It's as usual. We're going to be talking that shit on Tuesday and have to be butter on Friday. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Again, let me give my shout outs right quick here. Big shout out to Johnny 5, LBC 213 in the house. What up, fam? Long time supporter, the one and only, my main man, Mr. Dickie Foster in the house. What up, fam? Twan Wall in the house. What up, fam? Coos, Exotic Kennels in the house. I see you, fam. Let's see. Big shout out to Tribor. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man K-Walk. I see you, fam. Who else I got there? Cosmo Khan, Chief Aboriginal HV. Welcome to the Shark Tank, Cosmo. Welcome to the Shark Tank. King Yoda, I see you, fam. Yo, my main man, Chico Nicholas. What up, though? Big shout out to my man, Mr. Bruce Banner in the house. What up, fam? My man. Bloodthirst #1, a.k.a. Havoc 360 in the house. But what up, fam? Yo, big shout out. Let me take care. Let me see here. Big shout out to my man D'Angelo Jones in the house. What up, fam? Welcome to the Shark Tank, fam. The bite down and shake that like button. The one and only Double M Desbo in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, Mr. John Debris in the house. What up, fam? Bugs with the goods. I see you, fam. Franco. What up, fam? Big shout out to another long-time supporter, one and only my man, Mr. Burning Star in the house. What up, fam? Hey, check it out. Tonight, I ain't trying to be here late because we got a busy day tomorrow. And, I got to get that in before Mo get in here. Because, he don't want to understand that shit. He get off on one of his rat and raves and we be here at 2 o'clock in the morning. No, damn well. Got to be on the road by 3. So, but what we was talking about it, I'm going to get my little party in right quick. Check this out, fellas. I'm going to try to keep this real simple to my community out there. We ain't now, sometimes I got to remind myself, of my own age, because, life done went by so fast, and only time that you're really paying attention to what's really going around you when you start finding yourself going to a lot of funerals. Then you'd be like, dang, he was younger than I was, one of them type of situations. So being that we still around and, when we talk about these damn Bulldogs, this game right here, it was there before we got there. And it's kind of one of them situations where, everybody ain't dead. And, I be checking out some of the shows and I hear, sometimes I hear things that be totally way over my head sometimes, And some of it be to the point where you just don't even want to comment on it because it just seems like, so far out there. And then I think back, based on what I'm saying, and I went back and I started looking through some of the journals because I wanted to know if we were, were we really that bad? And it was kind of impossible for us to be that bad based on we didn't have the technology and the platforms to get up and get out there and say stupid shit. I guess when you did I wanted to get into this little quick thing about one of the old schoolers back in the late 1990s. He put up an article and it had to do with something basically what I'm talking about. Everybody, it's almost like we were using the Sport and Dog Journal and the American Game Dog Times to get our information. So they was like our source of what's going on. And then you got to decipher what's true and what's not true. Then you got people who see shit that ain't right. And they comment on the shit. And then all of a sudden you got people from all over the world writing into both of these journals basing their opinion on how they feel about things. Now, the crazy thing for me was sitting there reading, you know, some of the comments and the things that they were, you know, people would say in some of them forums back then, compared to when you know, with this modern technology and we got like these podcasts and these platforms, how it's actually addressed when you see these type of things, you hear these type of things. Like, for example, this is not the first time I ever heard anybody say anything about Barracuda and the Tosa dogs. Okay. But, you know, it's kind of like, for us, I seen Barracuda. I seen Barracuda a couple times. And I seen a lot of Mayday dogs, you know, based on our career being out there around the dogs. And for me to say what I'm fixing to say, I can say what I'm fixing to say because I've been around the dog. You know, when you've been around the dog, you've been around the people who had the dog, then you've been around other people with these dogs. And then I'm trying to figure out, okay, where did the Tosa part come in? Did the Tosa part come in? Why is it always associated with Barracuda? I mean, Barracuda did have litter mates. Barracuda is not the only son of Mayday. So which side did the Tosa come on? It came on the Mayday side, because when you start looking at the Mayday side, I mean, your eyes and, you know, will be able to tell you by, if you just look at Yellow John, Mayday, Luke Kane, Hunch, a lot of these dogs, they're all going to damn near look the same. Even the young Barracuda would damn near look like Mayday if you had a young picture of Barracuda. But just to even question that, considering time's supposed to take care of that. What I mean by time, you know, we in the now, and when I hear people saying that, and I say, what is so hard with you guys to go back and just look at the history? This is shit that has, this dog is a goddamn ROM. Look how many times this dog has been bred. Now, at what point in genetics do you not think that if you have a genetic trait anywhere, it's going to show up? It shows up in every species known to man. And I'm speaking because I've said this, you know, in my family, there's redhead Irishmen. And for me to have redhead sons and daughters, you know, that's a trait that just, out of my 9 brothers and sisters, all of us have had the red freckle-faced child. So I look at that, you know, that is a very, very strong trait in my family, you know, just like twins are. Me and Mo are not the only twins in my big, illustrious family. But these are traits, things that, you know, twins, and then somewhere one of our kids going to have some twins, or one of our kids' kids are susceptible to producing twins. That's how I be looking at that. That's that human concept. You know, that likeness brings likeness. Traits bring things, you know, from way back and bring them to the front to make you even question, where did that come from? Because anything that's out of the norm, you're going to always question it. But if you know my mama and my daddy, and then you know me and you know my kid's mother, I can see a person trying to say that ain't his kid. You know what I mean? Look, both of them dark and they got a red head, this red head, that. You know what I mean? That's because you don't know no better. That's all. So it's easy to step back and look at something and then assume and then put your own opinion on something. But then that's just what that is. I mean, it wouldn't be something somebody could come up and argue with me about when, you know, hold on, because that's a hard thing to do. That's like you know, how can a person question me about my kids? And, you know, because, you know, people always, well, I heard it was so-and-so. You know how that shit go. But when I got a baby and I got a mother and then there's me, and then there's DNA that says there is 99.9, you know, this is your child type of situation. And one of the reasons I ain't never really had to go through that, because majority of my kids being, I have this trait that where I had a hole in my ear. It's not deep in my ear. It's like right on the low part. And Mo had them same two holes in both of his ears. So when his kids, you know, we could determine, you know, our kids were born with these holes. Now, I think I had one and her hole was in the back of her ear, but it's a trait. It's like an extra gland that came from somewhere that was been fed down through the bloodline and all these years. And every time, you know, with every kid that I had, including me and my brother, we had to have them holes surgically stitched up. You know, the gland pulled out and then surgically stitched up, because it would produce this some type of liquid, and it would make our faces swell as we got older. So they felt that, all right, the way to do that is just, you know, cut out the gland and sew the holes up, and that stopped everything. But that's a trait. That was something that was handed down. And our kids, you know, that's something that when it happens and they're like, he got, or she got the holes too. Okay, that's cool. But when you're dealing with these dogs, it's not that complicated, because you don't have to worry about the small things, like in our situation, the holes. With dogs, you have body structures. You know, you have skin issues. There's so many things when you're dealing with these dogs that traits and genetics play a major part in. So when you're trying to compare something to, like, when I look at Barracuda and I looked at Mayday, and I'm trying to figure out where did they get the Tulsa from? And try to understand it where it makes sense. You know, that, you know, we got to throw Mayday and Barracuda totally out of the whole equation, because we got to go back to, you know, the yellow shit, the red boy shit. You know, and then where did it come from? Are you trying to say that Patrick dogs, you know, somebody at some point threw some toast in there, and then you can't say it was Victor, because Victor is not the creator of Mayday. You know, he wasn't the one who said, hey, let's do this. Actually, if Tan had known who Victor really was, Victor probably would have never got those dogs. And he did everything he could to keep him from getting those dogs. And Victor paid to get those dogs. And if you you read Victor's interview, but then you don't really know the whole story and the confusion and the why these two men did not get along. What was it that made Victor, you know, dislike Tant so bad? Because Tant was funny like that. And he talked that shit on the Mayday dog. And Victor didn't like that. So there's where the hatred come in, as far as between the two cats. But even them, they still came together and they made it happen the way what was supposed to happen. And I bugs out on that, because that's just one situation. Because you still got to look back. Okay, so where did Tulsa shit come from? Where did this other so-called part of that shit supposed to come from? Because nobody wants to explain that. Because you just can't, it don't make sense to stick straight to the Barracuda situation you know, and just think, you know, Mayday bred to what? To create a dog like Barracuda. Well, the picture I seen the Barracuda, you know, that old picture, that's old Barracuda. If you seen Barracuda, young Barracuda, Barracuda would look just like Hunch, Mayday, May. I mean, you would look, put like this, man. Y'all can look down there, even in today's world, actually look at a Mayday dog, a Mayday bred type of dog, and know that's a Mayday bred type of dog. What is it about that dog? Well, it's a genetic trait. It's a genetic just being handed down. And the thing about that red boy part of the Mayday situation, that bottom always mattered. You know, like Mayday don't throw red dogs. Well, we know that's bullshit. You know, that's another one that's supposed to have been stomped in the ground. We still talk about red boy dogs. If you just look at what history shows you. And then I seen this thing with, you know, with the breaking news, you know, like, okay, I thought the other shit was over, but then the breaking news kind of really flipped me, because I'm kind of thinking for myself, saying, you know, I wonder how many of these people actually seen Barracuda, the real dog. For everybody who's out there making comments and talking like they know, have you ever really seen the dog? Can you really say what that dog actually looked like? We know I think he's an 8-time winner, 9-time winner. Man, I don't never remember Barracuda being matched at catch weight. Never. But some people are made to believe that these were big dogs. And they weren't. They all wasn't big like Mayday. And Mayday, I ain't never known Mayday to be a catch weight dog. I mean, he was catch weight, but I'm saying, you know, that's 60 plus, but he wasn't I ain't never known him to be a 70-pound catch weight dog. Not one time. And then, you know, here's my other favorite line. You know, this must be a trend. There wasn't enough big dogs back there to really, you know, create competition. How would anybody who wasn't out there be able to make that kind of statement? Because I got a big audience out here. And being I was around back then, I would really want to see somebody actually who was actually around back in that time period and be able to stand on that comment alone about big dogs. Because if you think about it, you add up all the yellow and the yellow johns and the Maydays and the Lucanes, and you know, to me, them was the big boys. You know, I ain't never known them to have problems getting it on.
Yeah, Lucane was the 50 pounds.
Well, you can take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what his weight was, but I know they wasn't 45-pound dogs. I mean, as far as all of them. But you know what I'm saying? You just don't never know.
Yeah.
You just don't never know, because unless you was there or was living in that time period, that was like a crazy conversation to be even having, because competition was competition. And I felt like there was a lot of competition at every weight. And the only reason people really wasn't getting on like they was getting on is maybe they just wasn't big enough to get on, or they didn't know the right people to get on, but nobody ever really had a problem about getting on. And I think if you was living in that time period and you was actually climbing over those walls, your conversation would be so different compared. It's easy to sit here and talk about something and not know really what you talk about because you could never experience. No one, unless you play professional football, there's no way you can tell me that you know what it means to be a professional football player. There's no way. And the reason I say that because we all have dreams at some point. From little kids, you know, A team, B team, JV, Bantams, you know, junior high, high school. You know, we all have to climb that ladder. And we could get it all the way up to where it really matters and can't make the team. You went through all of that, all the way up to college, and then you just can't make the team. And I think it's 33 or 32 teams in the NFL. That's still a lot of spots, but it's really not a lot of spots in a game that's so big, professional football. Now, let's take the fast lane and look at it the same exact way. You can't tell me that you clearly understand the fast lane and everything and the people that was involved in it if you never were a part of it. That's the point I'm trying to get across. Because you don't know what it actually takes to do what it does to do what them people were doing. The matchups that were being made. When you understand some of the, you know, you've been around, don't be a spectator, be a part of it. Be that person that's actually at the scale arguing about that scale, you know, that got you a quarter pound over. And you know, you felt like it's something wrong with the scale. And we got a $5,000 lockup. And I'm just finna get out of the way over a quarter pound. These things happen. These things have to be dealt with. These things in history, when they're telling a story, you know, if you don't happen to be there and you just taking the story, that story will change, like from that quarter pound to 2 pounds over and all kind of crazy shit. Yeah, they were fighting and shooting and throwing the scale, and I mean, the story could be so much bigger when you got somebody trying to tell a story compared to somebody who was standing right there and watched it happen. You know, when the simplicity of it is go get another scale. Man, you a quarter pound over, cuz. Oh, I heard somebody else say it. It wasn't just Dougie that said it. I heard somebody else say it. That's why I spoke on it. You can put your mic on. You can talk together. You can jump right on in there.
It's working now?
Yeah, put the headphone on right there.
Gonna work?
Try it.
Nothing.
But that's cool too.
Okay.
Get the mic. Oh, I got more coming in. Right.
Hey, what up, y'all?
No, hit the button and come in. You're backstage. Add to the stage. There you go.
What up, y'all?
I don't get paid to sit here.
But,
You know my nerve. Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, y'all, what's up? I just wanted to make just a little things clear. I'm gonna be a short night, y'all. I can't be around tonight. I got something to do early in the morning, and I didn't want to. Mike was talking about the mayonnaise stuff. I had to straighten him a couple times too, but mayonnaise went into a 4-time winner and a 5-time winner, a 3 at 3 and 4. And between them, I said a 4-time winner and a 5-time winner. That's 9 big dogs, not including Mayday. You just talking about the dogs. The other big dogs went into before Mayday got them and beat them. So just put that in your books. So we got to include them. What is it? Them 9 dogs. That them 2 dogs beat between them, and then we gonna say Mayday won champion on the 4-time winner. He made 4-time winner on the 5-time winner. So that's 9 plus 4. That's 13 big dogs. And then you add Cody. That's 14. Now that's 14 big dogs. Where did y'all get y'all info from? And last I remember, every single one of them was a known kennel. Recognized kennel. He even went over to Puerto Rico. So come on now, y'all. When y'all be saying stuff out here, man, and y'all don't be really knowing what y'all talking about, for the unknowing, the people who really don't know. But just imagine for the people who really know, like me, I be grinching every time I hear y'all say something like that. Cause y'all really don't be knowing what y'all be talking about. Y'all just be slanging shit out there. It sounds good to the one who don't know. And all y'all doing is passing around a story, a false story at that. I don't think there were too many brothers outside of Ulysses and Deep South that really hung around a lot of Mayday dogs. And when I say a lot of them, I mean, we probably can tell you about all of them if you put Ulysses, Deep South, and us in a room. And don't forget, I knew Angel. I knew Angel before I knew Victor. And Angel had Mayday at the time I saw him. So the other thing is, there's a picture out there with Barracuda sitting in the box with the IV in his bag. That's Barracuda. That is Barracuda. Okay? That is Barracuda. Not the Barracuda that look like a Tulsa dog. Years later, I'm talking about years later after he started getting old. The young Barracuda did not look nothing like the old Barracuda. I'm just letting y'all know. I said the young Barracuda did not look nothing like the old Barracuda. I was going to bring y'all up to date on that. The older Barracuda got, they all get loose skin. He looked like a hound dog, but he did. He looked just like Mayday in his younger years. He wasn't even big as Mayday. Mayday was still bigger than Barracuda. Hunch was about as big as Mayday too, but he wasn't even big. He was about big as Barracuda himself. Yes, he did, Mr. Starr. Tell him again. He looked just like Mayday when he was younger. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. But Bronco, I'm going to say, wasn't that many big dogs out there? Like there was a shortage of big dogs. Mayday was out here matching to these dogs. Why not count? Yeah, I'm gonna count the 9 damn dogs that won. The I'm gonna count the 4-time winner who won 4 matches before he got to Mayday. If they running short, then you explain to me how he became 4-time winner. The 4th winner was a grand champion. That was a 5-time winner. If we was running short on goddamn dogs, well, how did he win 5? So don't tell me. I'm telling you. Put the question mark there. You ask yourself. If they were running short, the thing was they were running short on big dogs. Do that make you sound smart, jumping out there not knowing what the hell you're talking about? I'll put you on blast. I don't have no problem. What it looked like there was a shortage at? Excuse me. Are we ready to jump out there and say something like you know what you're talking about? And I will call you on it. Better think twice before you sit there and say that to me. That goes for everybody in the room. You ain't in everybody in the room. Somebody from the don't know that. Shit don't work here. I'm gonna call you on it. You don't even know what he's talking about. Don't count them. Why not? I thought there was a shortage of big dogs. Duh. Why not count? If there was such a damn shortage. Hey, anybody want to hit that link? Come on in and have that. You ain't missing nothing, man. Call me out on the grand champion punk dog. I think he in the face. Whoa. Somebody talking about the grand champion punk dog. Well, I don't know about the big part, but there is some questions there, Yoda. Ken 6 Yoda. King Yoda, you definitely right about that. I can't put my finger on it because I can't find no info. Everybody be talking about it, but he was never registered, not in the old journal, not even in the new journal. So, he doesn't even fall under a grand champion. He doesn't even fall under a place that we can even find one of the matches being recorded. So, then he comes up with the 2 pictures. Oh, he's doing another one. Oh, he talking about the 2 pictures. Yeah. And Champion Punk got 2 different pictures up there. We wouldn't even know what the real picture of Punk would be there, King Yoda. Whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that conversation for you, bro. I'm gonna leave that out there for you to get some answers, bro. Cause it seems like you got some, you're on the right track. Some people seen them, some people that haven't. It looks like Royal Bull has a Mayday dog. And Game Plug has a Red Boy Jeep dog. Well, they both act like they both had the dog. Royal Bull wasn't like he was hiding out there, y'all. He was pretty active now. I'm pretty sure he ain't the one that did Punk dog either. He might have purchased the dog after he did what he did, but but I remember, Royal Bull didn't have it. I think he had it. I don't know what picture he had of it, but it wasn't the picture that Game Blood had. 2 pictures. Yeah. Yeah, and then the other one looked like Burning Star. The other one looked like the ears flat to the front like that there. Okay, so everybody bought him as the grand. Okay, so bro, he bought him as the grand champion. Then Royal Bull bought it from him. Well, Victor didn't have deadlift, BRB. He didn't have deadlift. Mr. Lincoln had deadlift. So what do you mean? He said he was over there to read the choice. Look at I was saying I was reading the choice. See, there goes somebody saying, so I'm gonna put you on there. I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna put you out there. See, that's what you get. Everybody read that like that comment. First of all, I never said anything about being over Victor's house and seeing deadlift. That was first of all, because deadlift wasn't over Victor's house. Victor never had deadlift. Number two, he said he said he was over there to read to choice, but saw Mayday, not one mention of deadlift. Well, see, there you go again. See, you jump out there, putting that all out there, and nothing you saying got any truth behind it. Never once did I say anything about reading the choice. I said I saw Mayday, Dolly, Choice, and Apache, who I was reading Amber to, and I wasn't at Victor's house. I was at Angel's house. Now, did that sound like anything you just said? No, nowhere close. Now, when I went to Miami, evidently I definitely went to Victor's house to bring the Mayday. Duh, that was gonna get you the dunce hat to get in the corner, not once, but twice. How do you think I got both dogs down there? How do you think I got Red Ace there? How do you think I got Brat there? You know, so when I went to Victor's house, Deadlift wasn't there. When I went, Victor didn't live. I went where Mayday was, and Mayday did not live at Victor's house. He had a house for the dogs. So BRB, I'm just get this set the record straight so the next time you jump out there, you might want to tell somebody this story. At least get it right. In case you want to jump on somebody else's show with that shit you just put there. Wrong place to put it over here because see, you don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like you can talk about I don't know what I'm talking about. Guess who's looking like they don't know what they're talking about? Then you brought it up. Excuse me. Like my story's gonna change. I know my story definitely better than you. So be careful what you say around here. If you ain't used to me, you'll see I got an attitude. I got an attitude when people talk like they know what they're talking about. You had never set your eyes on that. They even make that discussion, even try to bring it up with me because there's nothing you can do to verify anything. Nothing. You ain't never seen neither dog. Mayday or deadlift. Golly. Going on what you hear somebody say, don't make you smart. Better make sure they're telling you something that you know is the truth before you get out here and find out that, you know, not looking too good when you do that, bro. I done told that story several times. Several times. So one thing for a fact, I got 2 breeds with Mayday, and I didn't pay 1 dime. So that's a lot to speak on. Come talk about Mayday. Yes, sir. You ain't got a chance to see him go. You know what I'm saying, player? Saw Barracuda go. Saw Twisted go. Oh man, they saw Cock Diesel go. And Red Cock Diesel too. Saw him in, got pictures of it. I'm thinking of all the people that I ran to that I know of. I ran putting mama to Barracuda. Never did much with him because I don't like the pups. I gave to a guy in St. Louis. A big ass male and a big ass female. They both took me. But how you gonna tell me about Barracuda? Barracuda changed a lot once he got old. He definitely changed a lot. He never did look like a toaster dog. For a long time, he looked like almost like Hunch. And Barracuda down there looked like both of them looked like Mayday. Hunch had the he had the Mayday type ears. I would have to say they was like rat ears. Oh, that's what his ears was like. Barracuda had those big ass Mayday ears. You gotta remember now, Mayday got little Tater in him too now. That's why they got the beautiful bodies like they do. It's like evolution and they dogs cross with the Stone City. You notice how beautiful them bodies is? You know how the 57 dogs looking coming down off of buckets. See how them dog bodies be looking? They got spark bodies. They built for that. Can't speak on how all of them perform. I can just speak on the dogs. And you already know which ones I'm always speaking about. The ones that really are relevant and matter. Hardly ever hear me talk about a dog with all the thousands down, broke down, 1,000 puppies they probably had. Oh, still look on the all list. Ain't but one guy up there in the top 5, and that's Yellow and Mayday that stands there as father and son on the register of marriage list. Never been done before. You can put Blackjack up there with Jeep, but Jeep ain't his son. Yellow and his son on top of the damn top 5 dogs on the register of marriage list. Yeah, Blackjack ain't his son. He off the tab. I mean, off the Gator. Yeah, Gator's off the tab. You know, so yeah, let me be y'all historian and get y'all the right stuff out here so y'all can start spreading the real story, not this fake ass story. I'll tell you the real story. And if you think I'm bullshit, I got the picture of Victor's son in the back of the Made rap video. And you will see how Victor tried very hard to make sure that he got that video off. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? And then never once did he ever ask for a puppy. He never asked me for a puppy. Like I said, I graduated 2 times, never paid him a dime. He never asked me to. Maybe have Rat because Rat was he was the first champion, fought in front of him as a daughter to Mayday. That was the champion. So yes, he would see Rat ran to Mayday. And it worked. So he produced good dogs both times that I've been to. And then on top of that, the Stone City Cross. Okay, yeah, that part too. Evidently, Victor must have got wind. He must have trusted me enough to make Mayday available for Blondie, to make that breed. So they definitely had to come to some type of agreement and definitely a truce in their little war they were having. And again, Mayday was the first. Second was Blondie and Mayday. And again, Baby was the first, and Baby was the only registered mare. From the first breed to the second breed, Baby was the only registered mare. And she was the first of his dogs who made that cross. Just bring you up to date on the truth. Don't want to get nobody the props. That's your prerogative. Don't. That's because you don't know all this. You listen to all the negative conversations. It sounds like it's good news, smart news, but it ain't. It's wrong news. My boy Run Star got a number up here. Run in. I'm gonna see if I can copy it and grab that, all right? I don't know if I can. But I got Mike back in the room. Mike might be able to get that pedigree up so I can pull it up. Hey, what's the deal with it, Bernie? What we gonna see, Bernie? Oh, I'm missing a whole lot. Okay. And for you to be a grand champion active in the early 2000s, your name should have been somewhere noted in his matches. Sure was. Old man Cruz used the pump blood. He's still trying to figure out where it comes from, what happened to it. That's all. That's all. Ain't no argument. I'm asking if you saw deadlift. That didn't sound like you was asking. Some people were saying Victor had deadlift. Well, if he had it, Mr. Lin gave it to him. You know, Mr. Lin did help him with Mayday when Mayday got his leg broke. That's how he was able to go into Kobe. Just bring some information to you, baby boy. See, Victor had sent Mayday down there with Mr. Lin. Mr. Link was the one that got Mayday leg together, where Mayday was able to come back out and then go make grand champion. You know what I'm saying, fellas? So Victor was pretty cool with Mr. Link. Oh yeah, okay, fam. I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't take it as a question. Cause maybe I didn't take it as a question. It sounded like a comment. Like, I wasn't lying. It's all good though, bro. I'm not disputing the story at all, bro. I know I am not. I'm just making sure that you get the right story, fam, so you can get out there and help me correct the lines and the stories that's going around out there that have very little truth to it. When I say something, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I said. I'm always remember it because I don't have to scoot around with a lie in my pocket. I carry the truth with me and got receipts. I can't not think I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Victor. I haven't read to the dog twice. And let's talk about the third time when I sat there and when I first met him. I wasn't reading nothing to him. I was reading the Angels of Apache, and I was hanging out with Angel there. Didn't even know Victor. Angel hooked me up with Victor. And me and Victor have been cool ever since. Can't really understand nothing he's saying. He was very hard to talk to. Well, baby boy, I hope I get you the right one because they need to know. Well, he said he was just asking to him, but I'm gonna go back and read what he said. Let me go back and read what he said. Hold on, you tell me if this would sound like a question. The whole time Twin said he was at Victor's house, he never said anything about deadlift. Seeing him. He said he was over there to breed to choice, but he saw Mayday. Not one mention of deadlift. Did that sound like a question to y'all? Because I don't see a question in there nowhere. I'm just keeping it real with you. So we gotta take it like I'm being harsh. I wouldn't be harsh on the question because it wasn't a question. Everything he spoke up, he said there was nothing wrong with everything he said. But there's no question in that conversation, y'all. Yeah, let me put it up here so y'all can see it. Tell me where there's a question at. And by the way, I saw deadlift at Mr. Link's house. Yeah, I was on Mr. Link's yard. When Annabelle went into one of the Stone City dogs, I forgot which one it was. I was running around with Jesse 187 last 187. And they took me over to, we all went over there to see Mr. Link, see his chickens and the dogs. Even went into Mr. Link with Brick and beat him in 40 minutes. With a deadlift, with a son of a deadlift. He had a son of a deadlift. We had one off coming down off of May 2. Okay, Star, that's Punk's Pedigree, yeah. Which one is it? Is it the Gang Blood or which one? Yeah, I got to catch up with you guys. Just let me know. If anybody interested in, let me go and put this up here. Gabriel said, if anybody interested in any going hard dogs, we got a couple for sale. They still carry the same traits and do the same thing as they did over 20 years ago. Trust it. Well, I got one. I got some of that old stuff for you guys. I love mine. He is funky for a 7-week-old puppy. You know that he shit, he kicks his goddamn feet in the back like a bulldog. He kicks his feet already, tail curled up, acting like a going hard dog, biting and chewing on everything. Better keep my eye on it. You always trying to bite me. Better not be no people biting. I believe I'm a dog trainer too, so believe me, he's definitely paying for them little taxes he be trying with me. He wants to fight everything. He don't like to be held. He don't like to be grabbed. He's a scrapper. Oh, okay. I missed that part, homeboy. I'm sorry. Wait, what is that at? Okay, the question is before that statement. Okay. Well, with that statement, I mean, it was so much wrong. I would definitely want to like to know what the question was. The statement was way off base, bro. I'm gonna leave it alone, man, cause we straight. I ain't got no ill business, fam. I was just going on what I did. I just put a statement on what I did. Say I was just trying to make it right. That's all. Cruz wouldn't have been using his son unless he was legit bulldog. I recall Royal Bull did own him also. Yes, sir. But we all kind of we knew about it, Royal Bull having it. And Gambler got it. But I'm just saying back and around during that time, bro, you know, there was not too many shows out there, fellas, with nothing but punk up in there. Now, whether he was doing it overseas, came back to the States, or anything of the above, you know, I think my man was out there doing his homework. Where he at? Let's see who that was. To brought that up. Let's see. How you doing, Mr. Morris? Hey. Shout out there to Mr. Morris. I'm asking about deadlift, but see, I didn't really know too much about deadlift, my friend. Hey, y'all want me to? That Robert Lim was a pretty good dog, man. Johnny Rocky. I wasn't trying to go into it tonight. I was gonna say before this Friday to go back into the keep. I was giving y'all a break for a minute. You know, because you know, the last couple keeps we've been looking at, you know. I mean, everybody was saying through the whole keep, you know, through the keeps we did show, man, you know, everybody saw fault, and it, like, you know, some of that shit was hard to believe. I mean, and that's just to the common person probably put in dogs in shape, actually knew the people involved, you know, these walks, well, I'm trying to tell you, these guys are old dudes now, you know, walking 10 miles, come on now. How many of them days did he walk 5, 6 days straight? You know he took a rest day. Maybe he took 2 or 3 rest days a week. You know what I'm saying? 10 miles walking every day. I could do it in my younger years. They should have never showed me the electric mill and the treadmill, and they should have really never showed me an e-bike. I tell everybody, y'all get y'all some e-bikes. You know what I'm saying? Sure. That's good for people who dog just refuse to run up either one of those needles. No, e-bike can really give you some good work. You ain't got to work at all. That's the only, and you can control the pace better than you could on a bike. Shoot, dog take out running, you just you know, using the dog is pulling you. You know, he gonna only exert how much he want to put out. And shoot, e-bike, you got control of that pace. You know? So, yeah, man, if y'all can just bear with me. Somebody is definitely talking Chinese up in here. I don't know what he's saying, but hey, they might, that was punk stuff. Well, we still trying to figure out. Okay, hold on. We're gonna put that number up, Mr. Star. Oh, 8992. Hey, I'll put my pedigree up there. But again, I might wait till Friday. I don't want to share my little pop. Well, I know what you're saying, fam. He wasn't there during the time I was there. You know, I was there with Victor early in the sport. You know, I was there after Brett made a championship, and Victor made it with the grand champion. But the first time Victor was a champion when I read Ace 2. And he was already a 4-time winner when I read Ace 2. I had just got them having puppies off of what was that? I had puppies off of. Yeah, that was grand champion Ace. champ. See if we got the same. I'm gonna pull up the. I hope it's that. Let me see. Give me that number he gave me. What was that number, Mike? Okay. Go back over here. See what that number is right quick, gentlemen. I'll catch up with y'all in just a second. We're trying to catch up here. I'm so late on y'all boards. Sorry. 8992. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's see. That's Grand Champion Royal Bulls Pump. POR. Yeah. I mean, look how he looked as he got older. He didn't look like that when he was young. He got a lot more meat on his face. Okay, that's been mic check one, mic check one. All right, y'all, tell me how this sound. That sound better? Do that sound better? Guys, give me a thumbs up if that sounds better. Cause I seen the last show, y'all was missing some good pieces in there, man. Is that better? Thumbs up, fellas, if that's better. Well, I'm going down here and go to number page 2. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ain't no blue over here though. So I mean yellow over here, so I can just do this right here. Okay, got one champion. Just please, just please get. Just Blaze Goldie. Email 2008. 2008 Goldie. Then it went to Detroit's Goldie. I guess this might be the same dog here. Yep, Detroit's Goldie. I don't know. That don't look like the same dog. Nope, not the same dog. We have 2 Goldies. Okay. Okay, guys, can y'all? Is anybody thumbs up, Mike? You know, is the mic sounding better, y'all? Cause I don't like breaking out, cause then y'all miss a lot of stuff I be saying. Okay, let's get back to the. Okay. Add to the stage. Okay, I got 205 J up in here. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah, man. Salute, salute, salute.
What's up, fam? What's up, fam?
Man, I'm just sitting here listening, man, and I've been wanting to get on this topic for a long time.
Well, you got the flow, bro.
Who is Grand Champion Punk?
That's a good question. I say myself. Yeah, Game Blood had him first from David Tant as Tant Hermie. Maybe if we look up Hermie, we might find something. When we go, let's find Hermie. Yeah, because his
I
name
did
was
my
Hermie.
research. Dead end.
You looked into that too?
Dead end.
Dead end. Uh-oh. My man
Yes,
says
sir.
it's a dead end. He
So
said it.
one other thing though is you look up Game Blood Grand Champion Punk, you see a red nose.
Yeah.
Somehow Royal Bull got a black mouth dog. That was like a Mayday dog to me.
Oh. There's
Hey,
Hermie.
I'm just calling the kettle black now.
Yeah, let me go ahead and let me share this with Pedigree up on Hermie.
Bred the same way now. No pictures though. No birthday.
Well, they say he was born in 2000. This one popped up in 2008. Let's go see
So
if
in
he got any
2000, he was born.
They say he was born
My
in
bad.
2000. Yeah, he said he was in
So,
2000. He was born in 2000.
so if you was born in 2000, that's around the time that all these famous dogs was being touched, right?
Exactly. Especially
The
if
early 2000s.
you got him in there as a grand champion in 2003. Born in 2000, grand
Hey,
champion. Went through basically three hands within them 3 years. And then the two owners, Game Blood and Royal Bull, they didn't do nothing with him. He was already grand champion in them 3 years. Grant with
so basically they was
13
making
off the
money off
chain.
of him.
With 13 off the chain,
But
he was
see,
a
but
busy
see,
dog for at least 18 months. He must have, if they started him at an early age. I mean, you got 13 off the chain, and then you got 5 contracted matches. That's 18 matches in 3 years. Does that make sense?
hey, you said it, not me. I just wanted to make it make sense now. And if you were grand champion, just like Mayday off of Yellow, we would have heard of you. How you get slipped under the rug?
Check the box.
Hey, Mo, mic check, Mo, mic check.
Yeah, mic check.
Nah, it sound like you on speakerphone. You sitting away from the phone.
Okay, is that better right there?
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, this mic is real simple. I gotta have it like right in front of my mouth. So if y'all can hear me, thank you guys for keeping me straight, because I don't want y'all to miss nothing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Royal Bull got his from Game Blood. And Game Blood didn't make him grand champion. So who made him grand champion? Who made him grand champion?
Hey, on the Game Blood pedigree of grand champion point, I guess it explains it on there because it says verified by none of the other than David T.
Well, come on, y'all. Can we go on anything David say? David was selling yellow dogs out the pound. When he ran out of when Red Devil ended up coming up missing, he turned Sundance into Red Devil. I mean, these are facts that's known. These are stories that's known and got receipts to them.
Hold on now, hold on, Mo. Hold on. Let me cut in real quick. And just so everybody know he's not lying, I called Paul Cruz myself to verify this. He verified this himself out of his own mouth.
That Sundance was Red Devil.
Yes, and that David Tant was selling black people dogs from the pound, and that all the dogs off Red Devil are not off Red Devil at all. From Carl Cruz' mouth itself now. I called. I verify. I do my research now.
Well, I got the story from a reliable source.
Yeah. Oh no, I ain't going against your word now.
Well, I know what you're saying because I mean I said that early in my days. Hey, they saying mic check, Mike. Mic check.
You sound good to me.
Okay, BRB, can you hear me now, fam? Here come my mic check, baby boy. Mic check one. Mic check one. Burning Star said, hey, I never seen him in there. Me either.
Right. And his dog, matter of fact, El Tito there was in 2004 on the cover. So how he make it and he didn't make it?
Well, you know the story about David. We really don't know. We got two Bobs, we got two Red Devils. You know? I mean, Red Devil popped
so
up.
Hard.
Red Devil popped up when AAA started throwing blanks.
Oh, you just opened up another can of worms.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
How old is AAA?
Shoot, remember we did the math on AAA.
Yeah, but we didn't get it right down to the T though. We got it right in the area, but we didn't get it down to the exact number though.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, you're right. We didn't. But that's all. That's a story for like you a young dog. You go in there and you die to get verification on some of the stuff you hear, and you find out that a lot of stuff you hear is, you gotta take with a grain of salt because we sit there and we watch PBK do a show when a young man get on there who was David Tant's yard man, and the story that he told over there at PBK. I mean, what better info can you get from the guy? It was like he had a grudge against him for some odd reason, but hey, thank you for that, BRB. Thank you, man. I just want to make sure you hear me, fam. Thank you. To make it clear, a lot of that stuff, man, you just don't know. You just don't know. But if he was just selling the black folks,
deal with breeders.
Cause I know a couple of guys that had dogs right off of yellow. I know a couple of guys that had dogs right off of yellow. That crew, that outlaw dog, Champion Outlaw, was off of yellow. He was up in Cleveland. Yeah, he was up in Cleveland. One of the stars that only know about Punk for sure would be to go through the the SDJs from 2000. Well, I did. I did. You know, I got a lot of the Book of Champions. The only one I'm missing is 2001. I can get you all the way up to maybe 2007. They said they got the ship in there, GHK. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They got the ship in there. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, my nephew, he got a nice little jip off a ship, man. She's a good producer. People say shit wasn't throwing that, but I mean, I like a little female. Mm-hmm. But let's keep it going, y'all. Let's keep it going. We didn't got through the let's see, we didn't went through the Barracuda saga. We didn't got through with the Punk saga. You know, if he ain't there, he ain't there. So if anybody got any of the Punk blood, I hope it's working good for you. You know, he did pop up. I'd be hearing people be talking about they got some pretty good dogs off of Punk. You know, but I can't really say, because through all the 3 years that I've been doing this right here, Punk just popped up lately where we got to talk about Punk. So I don't know, fellas. If you got it in your bloodline, I hope it's working for you. You know, but hey, it's not unusual though. I mean, if we can accept Maurice Carver doing it, if we can accept Pat Patrick doing it, if we can accept David Tant doing it, you know what I'm saying? And Pit Dog, what's up, fam? Pit Dog said most didn't trust Bruce. Pit Dog, you gotta tell everybody who Bruce is. Let them know who Bruce is, Pit Dog. Okay? Now, you said 11, so. But RBK, okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, when we get to talking about Bruce, man, I ain't even talking about Bruce. You know, I hate to see a soldier when he go down like he did. He might. It said Tim beat his ass up. Well, who is Tim? Okay, T-Mac. Okay, T-Mac beat him up, man. He looked like he was a live wire, though. He seemed like he was a live wire. What's up there, Rack City? Is made to RI. What's RI? Hey, Mr. Nichols. What's RI? He said, yeah, he was T shit boy. Okay. Hey, what's RI? Or did he make RM? No, I don't think he made RM. He had 3 champions on it. I think he was 1 short. I know he had at least three champions. I know he had 3 for sure. Cause we bred, he had what a day off of May 2 and let's see. Man, here I go trying to pick up a pedigree here. Baby. What a day was off of Baby in May 2. Madame, she produced Grand Champion Ruby. She was off of May 2 and Brat. Okay, Burner Star said your volume. Is it too loud? Mr. Star, is it too loud? Too low? Mike got me set up with the mic right there. Okay, Jay, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good. He said it was
Okay.
low. Is it all right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay, it's good now. Thank you, fam. Okay, it's back up, fellas. Okay, thank you, Double. Thank you, Double. Okay. No, and we bred him back to a lot of the same blood too. I'm gonna tell you, GVO can tell you a lot about their breedings. A lot, you know. But hey, I think one day we're gonna go back to the yard. We're gonna go back down there. We're gonna do the yard with y'all. He said, was made too valuable to hit the box? No. Made too got checked when we put the best on the best. Now, D-South will tell you a totally different analysis based on what he saw. What he saw Made to Dum Dum and Trina were littermates. They had a littermate brother. We put on Maytu, and Maytu broke he went into his back end and got up into his gut area and bit him so down hard he broke his back. He paralyzed him. We put Yellow Day on him and he got tested. You know, once you have to get tested on my yard, we don't use you. So that's what happened to Maytu. You know, if you listen to G-Ville and Deep South, they would tell you, you know, he was a badass dog. And he was. He was definitely one to get in your ass in and get you out of there. It was just unfortunate that, you know, after he broke the other dog back, you know, we put Yellow Day on him, and Yellow Day was Bebe and Buck Rogers and them little brother. And he got stolen. That's what happened to him. We would have been using him definitely if we would have been able to keep him. He was almost a remake of Yellow Buck. He was a red brindle dog, but they stole him. And he was a good one. Yeah, we didn't have the flavors that we had back then. You know what I'm saying? Well, at the time, because I got out, you know, but even his offspring, you still got to look at when they bred Maytu to that dog, the cycle went 3 hours. They bred it to the little mate's sister, to that dog. He was really a double bred gator dog. They bred Maytu to his little mate's sister, and they came up with the female that produced carnivore and the mother to Carnivore and Brick. Brick was a 2-time winner. Carnivore was a 1-time winner. She was one of the dogs that got confiscated in 2008. That was Twisted Nico. With Twisted Nico, what? Game Bill. What about Twisted Nico? Oh, you said that was Twisted Nico we put on May 2? No, that was Yellow Day. Twisted Nico and Naya were litter mates. They was a little younger than when we did that. They were still some young dogs when we did that one. Yep, Twisted Nico and Naya. No, Twisted Nico and the shit. Yep, Twisted Nico and the shit. They came down off of Naya, who was off of Nico. Bred the champion sugar. Yellow Day was a fool, bro. He was. Yes, he was. He was the hottest thing in that litter. And he was rough like Red Ace. Remember, they stole Max and them Little Mate brother too. The same thieves stole one of the Nico Jr. pups, the Sassy. They stole Yellow Day. They stole Max Little Mate brother, who was a fool. You know, they stole some good dogs off that yard. They really did. When I got them cameras, I finally got a chance. That's what I thank God for the cameras in the sound. Because without them, they probably would have still been hitting my yard. See, Blue and DJ dogs got it better than their granddaddy did breeding wise. Well, I would say that to a point, but you know, if I go in there and grab the yard with the breedings that y'all made, I don't know. That might contradict that statement there, my friend. Check May 2 in the Orange Grove. He was bigger. Yeah, I got pictures of May 2 over there. I got pictures of him. Yeah, I got pictures of him. I don't remember putting Twisted Nico on him though. You know, after I did him with Yellow Day that day, I never done him again. He was game tested. He made it back to the chain, and I never had no intentions on doing him ever again. You remember, you know, T.O. had him, then T.V. got him after that. But I gave him the T.O. and my KP, and KP moved on. But that was two, because Maytu had a brother who was, I gave T.O. the best one. I gave the one that was better than Maytu to my KP, and he took him up to Ohio and passed him on the Tip. Dude named Tip up there in Ohio. Dog got off the chain, and both dogs ended up dying. But he was definitely the better one of that breeding. It wasn't Maytu, it was his brother Mayo. Mayo was like a buckskin, like Bebe and Buck Rogers. He was a mother. He looked just like Mayday, but he was red, and he was a big boy too. I wouldn't say he went over 55, but he might have been 55 on the chain. But he was a good one. You know, after Barracuda and Twisted went up there to Tennessee, you know, I didn't think my KP wanted any Mayday dogs. You know, I didn't understand why he was so upset. He was up there just trying to beat the damn dog. Now you want one? You know, I love him to death, so I gave him the best one to go with, and he still got rid of him. You know, so yeah. I think Game Bill, y'all did a great job. I mean, 38 special. You know, that was off of May 2. You know what I mean? Jimmy, Wiggles and Bandino, y'all made some damn good breeders, so fam. I don't understand how you can say that. And those are all champions I just mentioned. You know? May 2 through, I mean, there's a couple champions out there that either came down off of May 2 or came off as offsprings. That is true. Yeah, Earthquake. Yeah, I remember Earthquake. That's what they call Mayo. Remember, his name was Mayo before they changed it to Earthquake. Because he did create an earthquake. He was rough. But I mean, I like my puppy, though. I'm going to put them pedigrees up next show. No, and I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some pedigrees, and first thing we're gonna do Friday, y'all. We're gonna go back into the keep thing and check out Robert Lim. You know, for guys who don't know who Robert Lim is, he is a very educated dog man when it comes to conditioning. He's probably one of the first guys I've ever heard anything pertaining to the word pace. You know, he was probably the first one that came up with the word, you know, it's a philosophy of pace. I think Supernat, you know, he spoke on it, you know, in the few times that, you know, when I was up there with him, he spoke on the pace. And like he said, you know, people don't believe that you can take a marathon runner and put him against a 100-yard dash track star, and that marathon runner probably got air. But what good is that air if he getting blew out? You know, what good is the air if he's getting blew out? No, that's the question. And they were right. It was an advantage, and it's true. It was an advantage. If we condition him for pace, yes, he was a master conditioner. That's right, Brennan Starr. And he made it, I mean, and what he said was it made sense. You know, I used the track star against the marathon runner. And like they said, you might have a walking keep, you might even have a treadmill keep, you might have any type of keep, but if you don't have a pace, when you go in there with a dog just going 100 miles an hour, you have just put yourself in a situation that you weren't conditioned for. You're trying to keep up, and you're going to be using energy that you didn't use in your keep because you didn't condition for pace. And yes, we've seen it a lot. That was one of our advantages, especially when you got a killer. We can go in there and just work, and the whole time when he's working, he's destroying shit. You might be in great condition. You might be in great condition, but the way I seen it, around the 15-minute mark, they were gassed out. They were gassed out because they tried so hard to try to stay even. If not, you know, that desperate move to try to get ahead, and they used a lot of energy due to the pace that was being set by our dogs. You know, that was one of the better things about Mama. You know, she was conditioned for pace, but she know how to hold her pace. she could store her pace until the hour mark, and then she crank up. And when I say she crank up, now she's going into her pace game because she's already got she sees her opportunity because the dog probably showed signs of being tired or not pushing her like she was. And Mama was one of those smart ass dogs that now she got a pace and you could never recover. She never let you recover. Now she's pouring it on. They could never catch up with her. That's probably why they always gave her best to show over Brad. Because Brad go in there and destroy shit, make it look easy. Mama, she go in there and look like she's coming from behind or coming from an good fight to, and all of a sudden now she just took off like secretary coming around the corner. You know what I mean? Heading down the stretch. So that's what made that red boy shit good. You know, Mama was a perfect red boy dog. She was. She was definitely the perfect red boy dog. Hour wasn't nothing for her. She didn't get cranked up until the hour mark. You know, me, let's talk about the dogs that's making the new crosses, y'all. Now we got Frisco up there in the top rankings. You know, I'm a firm believer in playing with them top 5 great dogs, as you always hear me speak on. You know, I play in that RM list a lot. You know, and you will find a couple new crosses coming out with Mayday and Garner. You know, that's the new thing. Crossing it and seeing if it can work with that old Frisco stuff. You know what I mean? Because I think, you know, good breedings, why not take the best when it comes to production? Because I think most registered merit dogs, especially the ones that I'm speaking on, they carry a registered merit trait. There's not too many that I can tell you that was able to pick out ROM. Like Mayday, he had a registered merit trait in him. Yellow passed it down. Yellow John passed it down. Red Boy passed it down. You know, that's a trait in itself. And if you can get lucky enough to get a trait of a dog that can produce, it's not like everything that he breeds to, you're going to be expecting a champion or something. Because ain't a dog on that list, not one dog on the registered merit list got that type of production record. Remember, it don't take before for a male. So, I mean, you know, you can do like Mayday and breed a whole bunch of dogs. And on the registered list that I seen last, Yellow and Mayday were tied at 14. But to me, they was missing 3 champions that wasn't on there. Because I can name 17 before he left Florida. What's up, John Johnson? Hey, I like that. I like the combo, y'all, tonight, everybody. I like that. You know, one thing about it, it's best to listen and hear what's true going on. Now, everybody made that comment that when Victor left and went to Ecuador, people are saying that Victor took Deadlift with him. I don't think Victor took Deadlift from Missing Link. You know what I mean? I don't think that ever happened. Now, I do know that if there was any exchanging of dogs, then if I was Victor and I'm giving Missing Link Mayday, then yeah, I can see Victor taking deadlift. You know, but I'm pretty sure it didn't probably go down like that because, like I said, Victor ain't touched it. Victor and Missing Link were pretty good friends. You know what I mean? But you know, they made some good crosses with Deadlift. Deadlift was a pretty good producer. I mean, bred to the right dogs. You know, to me, yellow dogs work good crossing into buck stuff and his own stuff. Buck stuff and his own stuff. And I honestly believe if you cross some of that stuff into some Eli, you're going to get some good dogs too, because it ain't like it wasn't happening. Stone City was using Miss Nico. She was a Jeep bitch. That's still Eli when you speak of Jeep. We did it with Amber when we bred to Ace. Charlie, whether it be Charlie or Angus, they was Eli dogs. Bully son. Eli and Bully son. You know, so I think even back then in them days, I did a show. If we had a couple Eli dogs and yellow dogs being bred, we seen a couple good dogs out of them crosses. You know, I think the new thing gonna be the Frisco dogs. You know, are we gonna ever have another Jeep? Are we gonna ever have another yellow? Are we gonna ever have another Mayday? Sports Archive, what about Bruiser and Travis? Well, Taz Bruiser, we had Yellow Apache, that's Sassy Girl's mother's father. Yellow Apache was off of Bruiser and Hooker Red. We took that was the female that came off of Little Mayday. Little Mayday bred the Yellow Apache, produced Sassy Girl too. So yeah, we had some of that Taz Bruiser stuff. Competition Kennels, but me and him were good friends. He's from the D. If y'all didn't know, he's from the D. No, he had some of that Bruiser stuff. That's where Romeo and them come from. You know, I think they had Bruiser bred to Sassy. No, that Otter Sassy. Yeah, it was Otter Sassy. See, my Bruiser bitch, Hooker Red, she had yellow and Jeep in her. She was really heavy honey bunch. You know what I mean? Now, okay, Yellow Patch. See, she was double red Bruiser. Can y'all hear me? She was double bred Bruiser. Can y'all hear me? And you can see all the Jeep and Honey Bunch in it. I would have to say Honey Bunch. Yeah, this dog right here was bred to Little Mayday, and that's what produced Sassy Girl too. You'll find this over there real heavy over there in Gameville. Because he had Sassy Girl 2 dogs, and he had Sassy Girl's little mate brother Menace dogs. And at some point, he had them both bred together up in there in his pedigree. So he had double whammy of his stuff. She died from babesia. She got babesia at pictures when Brad did. I brought her home because she was bred to Mayday. And she didn't have no puppies. Her and Brad was down there together. Brad was sick. And then I bought a Yellow Apache and I left Brad. And come to find out, I bred Little Buck to Yellow Apache and she gave him babesia. And before she could have the puppies, she died from babesia. Then shortly after that, he ended up dying from babesia from me breeding to her. This is before I got that medicine to be able to save them. It was after that that I was able to get the medicine and save Maytooth, because Maytooth had picked up babesia. But yeah, that's where Competition Kennels got the Sir Kel stuff. That's where Competition got the Sir Kel stuff. This stuff right here. A Korean sibling. But I'm almost positive that's either the sibling or one of them. But I know that this breeding here, you might find in, matter of fact, it was Tramp. Wasn't Yellow, if I'm correct. It was Tramp bred, not Bruiser. It was Tramp that was bred to Sassy that produced Romel Buck. I mean, not Romel Buck, but Champion Romel. Competition. There's Champion Romel right there. I guess we must have got the chocolate side from this bottom stuff down here. Because Sassy Girl, Little Mate brother was this color. Yeah, we were good friends. We were all the way down to, what was that, Mike? South Carolina? Blowed out. I mean, Be Real had us blow out. We had so much fun. Went down there in South Carolina and won with old Too Sweet. Drove from the T all the way down to South Carolina, picked up a win. Oh, we had a fun weekend. That was a fun weekend. But this is Romel. This is where he got the ideal. See, he took my ideal. Remember, I told you I took Sassy and bred the Little Buck. They go Snicker. And they go Romel Buck. Looking like Yellow Day, looking like Yellow Buck. And what he did, he took kids, Little Mate to Sarah Kel, off a Yellow Buck, sibling. There you go, going hard, Little Buck. And then everybody, y'all seen, y'all know I had Sarah Kel too. I bred her to Buck Rogers, didn't take. But they go Graveyard. Graveyard was bred to Madame, and he produced Grand Champion Ruby Red. down was off of May 2 and Pratt. I got a little puppy, his name Mako. But yeah, that's a Stone City, and he did this. He did this right after Victor and Blondie. He was the third person to do it. Actually, he was the third person to cross, and he basically took the ideal, because they had a lot to do with me getting Yellow Apache. So, you know, like I said, I was pretty cool with competition kennels as well. And he did the same thing, and just what he got out of it. Yellow Day was just like that. That's the color, him and Bucko. I had 2 red males. Birth date, 1998. So that was the third breeding. First breeding we made with Sir Kel's brother. Second breeding Victor made with Blondie and Mayday. And the third breeding was Romeo bred to Sir Kel. You don't see Mayday nowhere up in there. Nope. But I would, if I was him, I'd have been taking Romeo buck, and I would have been breeding to a daughter of Mayday, at least a champion daughter. You know, I would have been trying to catch Chanel. I would have been trying to catch the Pratt. I would have been trying to catch any one of them dogs. This dog right here should have been bred to a lot of dogs. Bulldog Depot, they was breeding wild. You know, for me, as I go down through here, I'm looking at double bred Sir Kel. I don't know how many times they bred Sir Kel too, Ramel Buck, but as you can see, now these two here, yep, they're just sit here. Okay. Can't really say too much about that one. TBD. I don't pay that shit no mind here. But you know what I see missing in his breedings? They didn't never. Not, I mean, I would have been taking it to Mayday. No, I don't know who these other dogs is and stuff, but me, I would have been taking it back into the Mayday stuff. No, I don't see anything too familiar. You know what they was doing with these crosses. Birthday at 98. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bred Pretty Mama to Bozak. Remember, that's where Little Wonder came from. Wonder was after Pretty Mama didn't take with Bozak. Hmm. Okay, yeah, go back over here. Bobak was a bad boy. He beat Champion King. Okay. It says Champion Bobak was a bad boy. He beat Champion King. They bred him to Miss Nico, and I wanted one of them. Well, I'm gonna show you the breeding that we got right quick, and then I'm gonna call it a night with you guys. Okay. I'll tell you how I can find it. Let me see if I can get it here. I get up there in a minute here, guys. Let me see. I'm trying to get up Wonder. Let me see what's another way. I go with Brick. Okay. I go this way right here. Okay. Okay, this is Brick. I had the little mate sister. This is the dog. This is Brick. When I had him put in shape, he went over Missing Lincoln 40. He won a second and 20. A devastating dog. This is how he was bred. This dog right here is the dog, like I said, we bred the mate to, but her little mate brother is the one we went 3 hours and 17 minutes with. His mate two bred the Diablo, produced him and his little mate sister. He had a little mate sister. There's carnivore. And then this little female here, Nico Bear, off of Bozak, and baby, another yellow buck Miss Nico breed. Little mate to Sir Kill, little mate to Little Buck. Sibling, Going Hard Wonder. See her right there? There she go. The little nutcase female, she was tough too. She's the one that died from attacking grapefruit. I told the boy to knock the grapefruit off the tree because she kept grabbing him and busting him, and he turned it into a play game with her, and she went to sleep and never woke up. After spending the day of busting open grapefruit, the acid in her killed her. And this is the pup that I was given when Pretty Mama and Bozak didn't take. But I bred Pretty Mama to Bozak. Okay, so as you can see, I got around. I'm gonna breed good bitches. I'm gonna get good bitches. I had bred her to Yellow Day, and it never took. But I had bred her to Yellow Day. Yellow Day was off of, he was the little mate to Bebe and Buck Rogers before they stole him. You know, if I'm correct, I honestly believe that she was pregnant at the time that she died. She died with puppies in her. She was a dark brindle dog, just like her little mate sister. They were dark brindle. Yeah, Little Buck was the same color as this female and the same color as Prodigy. Prodigy was her little mate's sister. If I'm correct, let me go back and see that. No, they call it a Nico Bear. Yeah, but she was a good one too. Those dogs got they had a lot of heart in them. I think they were game as shit. That's one thing about these dogs right here. They was definitely game. I would have loved to be able to take Maytu back to her. But as you can tell, you know, the breedings that were being made, they were good breedings. You know, definitely good breedings. And I didn't make this breeding. I didn't make this breeding. But this little female here, I was definitely an instrument in getting this female right here. Actually, when we went up to James Crenshaw, when this female was bought, she was in heat, and he bred her to Gator. And we came back with her pregnant off of Gator. And these are the puppies she had. She was one of the puppies. The male we went 3 hours and 17 minutes with was her little mate brother. Then you see Maytu being bred to her, and then you see the Yankee boys. They had a champion and a grand champion off of her, being back into, again, the Eli stuff. No, another nice breeding. It worked. That's for damn sure. And if it fits me, I'm still trying to remember, but I think my boy G-Ville stopped her, this dog right here. Was it y'all to stop this dog, G-Ville? I'm trying to remember. But I think we saw it, or did she, or was it a sister, but I don't know. I think Rosario had her. But she definitely went on to produce some great dogs. She produced some good ones, that's for damn sure. She produced evil, and then she produced great for the Yankee Boys. For those who don't know what the Yankee Boys is, back then in the day, Yankee Boys was just as tough as STP in them. Okay? Okay, somebody got a question before I back up out of here? Oh yeah, we did some great business, bro. They've been, if you notice, most camps back in our time even with the dogs that we were showing tonight, did you notice how they was bred? Dogs was bred with winners. Okay, we got Sporting Dog Archive says, do you feel like hardcore was a little below the level of Stone City or Southern Kennels in production? Hell no. If you want to know the truth, hardcore got there before they got there. You know what I'm saying? Not by a long shot. If anything, Victor and Stone City had to catch up. No, hardcore was definitely the senior. When it comes down to seniority, hardcore was hands down. He was definitely hands down. I can't take nothing away from Victor. I can't take nothing away from Jesse. But, if anything, they rose to the occasion because before they was Victor running around with a yellow dog or Stone City running around with Awesome Baby, you had Yellow being bred to Jeep Red Boy Rascal crosses. Hardcore Kennels was doing that. You got to remember, you had Milo, Morocco, 9 Millie, Breaker, Register, Merit, bred to Yellow. He had chance to produce a champion. No, hardcore was definitely not a little below. If anything, Stone City and Southern Kennels was a little below. And they caught up. They definitely caught up. But Big Mike was already in the making. He was already set in stone before they came along. He was already set in stone. He had Red Man and he had Bozak, and he was on a roll. He had plenty of great dogs, y'all. He had a lot of champions. Yellow Wolf, we could do a show on Big Mike. He was definitely one to contend with. Yes. Tell him again, my friend. Yeah, he had a lot of champions. 9 Millie was the one, his first grand champion. Out of all those champions he had, 9 Millie was his first grand champion. Yeah, then she made Dog of the Year. If I'm correct, I think she made Dog of the Year. But I know she beat up Beeline. She smashed Beeline. John Johnson, who survived, 9 Millie's grand championship match didn't go 3 hours, but you know, if you're talking about our match, that was a male. Evo, it wasn't Surprise. Surprise was the legitimate sister to the dog that we went into. You know, again, that should have never happened because I was a pinnacle in them even getting Lumpy to even have that breeding off of Gator and Lumpy. But yeah, they produce some good dogs. Yeah, and don't forget Proset. You know, Proset got his hands on them too. Remember, Champion Sugar was off of Bozak. Remember, Champion Sugar was bred to Nico. Remember, they started crossing the Stone City dogs into the hardcore dogs like they was crossing Mayday in the Stone City. That's where this shit come from. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I knew she was up there. I got a picture of 9 Millie. I took a picture of my KP. We was at Big Mike's house chilling out, and I took a picture of my KP with 9 Millie giving him love. I mean, she was all up on the couch. She fell in love with that dude. You know, and I got a good picture of 9 Millie and my KP. Mm-hmm. Which one? Oh, this one? Okay. Oh, gee, can you put up this one? 106, 938. Okay. $106. That's at 938. Yeah, Ant 318. Yeah, old Mike. Hmm? Oh, well, okay. Yeah, this was a nice one. This was a nice dog too. Little mate to Latin Families Champion Slickhead, Blackie Grand Champion Miss Jones, Grand Champion Little Mama, Champion Little Mike, Champion Striker, Champion Poppy, two-time winner Mimi, two-time winner, one-time loser Little Blackie, two-time winner, one-time loser Pac-Man, two-time winner Fuzzy Meatball, two-time winner Bravo, one-time winner Knucklehead, one-time winner Bin Laden was a one-time winner, one-time loser. Stony Boy was a one-time winner. Country Girl, one-time winner. Blood Orchard, one-time winner. Mike A, one-time winner. Smarty, one-time winner. Misery, one-time winner. Definitely a registered marriage, definitely a POR. Wrecking Crew, but that's that bucket stuff. Anytime you take that yellow stuff, you take that yellow stuff and you cross it into anything with the buck stuff, whether it be Mayday or Grand Champion Buck, you're going to get some good dogs. And again, I said Milo, Morocco, 9 Millie, Red Man, Bozak. We didn't even touch Breaker. All Wham, Pepsi, all Wham. This is the Jeep yellow dog right here. Champion Cheyenne, Champion Morocco, Picky, two-time winner, Dickey, one-time winner, Oz, four-time off the chain, needs 3 points for POR. But see, to me, these were just, like I said, yellow dogs bred to Mayday, Jeep. That's why we know the crosses was working. We knew that they worked. That's why you're gonna find it in Yellow Buck. Compared to Miss Nico, you're gonna find going hard with that. You're gonna see us with the hardcore stuff, going with that. You know, these guys taught me a lot. Right. Yeah. I mean, remember, I used to run with Big Mike and Jesse. Yeah, those was my peoples. They was my Florida people. You know, up north, I have people up there. But when I moved to Florida, Big Mike and Jesse, them was me. You know, I'll never forget Big Mike. I know I hated to see what happened with the 9 milli panty situation, because I really wasn't trying to set him up. But at the same time, you know, hey, the man he had a match. And, you know, we broke down in South Carolina. We was headed to North Carolina. Actually, to see 9 milli. That was the same day. Wasn't it, Mike? Was that the 9 milli show? That was the 9 milli show. You know, he drove all the way from North Carolina to South Carolina and picked us up. Took us all the way back to North Carolina, did the show, and then drove us all the way to Tampa. He brought us all the way, took me all the way back to my front door. You know, so, you know, I'm always going to be a hardcore fan. You know, again, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. Yeah, I know I had good dogs, but I had good dogs because I was around good dog men. I learned a lot. Let's go. It's a, you know, so yeah, there was a lot of good dog men that I was around, and I ain't had no other choice. That's why I give them all the love. You ain't never see me trying to step above them and act like I was better than them. I was just fortunate to be around them, to be like them. You know, they was the one that set the trend between me meeting Angel and then having the opportunity to meet Victor, then hanging around with Jesse. Got a chance to go over there to Puerto Rico, enjoy myself over there, going into Tommy. Good competition. Then turn around there and run into Big Mike, you know. And then we had a son made to bred to a Satan dog. And went into forgot the kennel. But my boy won best in show that night. A son off of May 2, bred to a grand champion Satan dog. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, our success came from just following the lead of the people we was around. You know, I ain't trying to be no rocket scientist. I'm trying to be what they was. You know, to get out there and play like them, you gotta have them kind of dogs. So just being around those guys and the education I learned from up north, and then being able to go down south and make the same connection, if not a better connection, you know, down south, you know, I couldn't lose. Changed the whole setup of my yard with the guys that I was running around with. No, I would never even, like I said, I'm at the bottom of the gate, but I'm the gatekeeper. Y'all gotta get past me. If I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, cause I can't be all that if I'm at the bottom of the totem pole and I'm the last on that totem pole and I'm the guardian of the gate. You know, to even be on that level, you still gotta get past me. And that's not gonna be an easy task. So there's a lot of great kennels that look is way above me, and I don't have no problems pointing that out and reminding you guys. Yankee Boys, RC and the So-So Boys, the Beach Boys. Man, there's so many kennels out there, man. Cane Valley, Sniper, Shady Days. I mean, there's so many kennels out there. I got mine in. Body Snatcher. Man, I can just keep going on and on and on and on. I am only a gatekeeper. All these guys, they stay strong ahead of me. But they taught me how to be like them. That's what they did. Because I wasn't trying to be better than them. I just wanted to be able to get good dogs like them. I wanted to know what it felt like to have these type of dogs. And yes, it looks like I was breeding a lot like them. Well, guess what? I wasn't the only one. Everybody was starting to follow twin lead too. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me Jesse and them didn't follow that lead. Oh, now. You know what I mean? Shoot. Got me a breeding with Bozak. Too bad Pretty Mama Bozak didn't make it. Oh, we had a funny day that day trying to make that breeding. And you know, Big Mike, he a big boy, you know, he can't. And it was hot out there that day. Oh my God. He gave the dog Ace Promazine and he still was acting like a donkey. We didn't do that, but one day we worked so down hard that day, we was like, hell with this shit. And we was there the whole damn weekend. We didn't even think about trying that shit again. And we was using a breeding stand. You know, but I had good moments, man, with all those guys, man. I had good moments with all of them. I can tell you that. I had many hours of talking to these guys on the phone, all that. Hardcore. They also had Champion Doogie that was dogging there in 94. He went up there and he lost to Champion Flash. And yep, he sure did. And he was actually, when he went into Flash, he was going for his grand championship, my friend. Doogie was a 4-time winner before he got into Flash. He had to beat Flash, who would have been Mike's first grand champion. And he was a 4-time winner winning the Flash. And shit, Flash, well, I think Koo was about like a first-time out dog when he beat him. Maybe a one-time winner when he beat Doogie. You know, that was a heartbreaker. But, you know, you never know. He was still a 90% kennel. He was still a 90% kennel. Let's talk about Yellow Wolf. There's so many other champions, you know. He's got a array of champion dogs. Well, I don't have no problem talking about hardcore. How many times y'all done heard me bring hardcore up? I rank him up there with the top. Like I said, he was doing what he was doing with his yellow dogs long before Victor and Mayday and Stone City and Yellow Buck and those dogs popped into the scene. Mike is like he has seniority. Shit, Jesse was down there like me. I'm gonna be honest with you. He was like a protege to Mike too. Now, you know, everybody, you know, Big Mike deserves his undoubtedly, and his boy Charlie. You know, he had a kennel partner. Yes, he had a kennel partner. You hardly ever seen him, but he had a kennel partner. You know, I can talk a lot about him and run through some of his champions and stuff, but he's a very well-known dog, man. He is definitely one of them. Legendary, definitely. Definitely. You know? Anybody got any more questions before I start sliding up and giving the mic back the mic? You know what I mean? You know, I got some work I got to do tomorrow. Gonna be a 3-hour drive. And it's gonna be tough. Yeah, total 6 hours. Yeah. Yankee Boys Gambler was a good one too. Yankee Boys period was good. You know what I mean? Yankee Boys, obviously the Social Boys, you know, back then during those times, them dudes right there was almost like Stinson and Glover and shit. And these were fast lane kennels. Strong fast lane kennels. They was definitely dog men. Havana Boys, you know, all them dog. These was the dog game back then. Yep. But again, I speak on Body Snatcher. There's so many great kennels out there, man. Undertaker, Untouchables. You know, these were great kennels. You can't even take nothing away from Bull Skull. You know, Bull Skull was a good dog man too. Sean, yeah, he had some good dogs. But you know, now he was the one, you know, when you go grading him, you know what I mean? You know, he probably wasn't like it, but you know, I definitely surpassed him. Maybe because he was running his own little thing and he wasn't as consistent. But Bull Skull he was a dogger now. Don't ever think he wasn't a bulldogger. Yep, strictly business. I mean, you hear me talk about all these guys, man. It was tough back then, man. I don't even know how we can even fix our mouth to say that, you know, the the level of these dogs back then, man, they was on a different level. Well, Mike, he wasn't really in the business, but his boy was. Yeah, his boy Charles, his kennel KP he was definitely, you know, they had to feed the yard, and if they wasn't collecting it in match dogs, they was definitely collecting it and selling dogs now. Because he was definitely selling some hardcore dogs out there, fellas. He was sought after. He had dogs off of Yellow. I mean, he's taking Yellow and he's breeding it to Red Boy G Rascal Cross. And was successful doing it. How much you think Tom, Tom paid for Champion Sugar? I mean, look what he did. He paid for Champion Sugar. He paid for Morocco, Champion Morocco, and he paid for Champion May. This dude went to the right people and bought his dog and went out there smashing people with him. And you know, he must have had some good money because it took some good money to buy May. It took some good money to buy Champion Sugar. It took good. I mean, you had to have some money to get a dog out of my hands. G-Ville, no. G-Ville, no. G-Ville was around during that time. He might not have been up in the bus with us, but he was definitely engaged. And it's not like they didn't know who G-Ville was. G-Ville hit the scene with that goddamn skins and took everything by storm. You know, when we were searching, he took that melee stuff and crossed it with the real first nice real boil cross was skin. I ain't seen too many good skins, you. Skins to me was the best, and I'm gonna say it. He was the best boil cross, and I ain't seen nothing better yet. For all the breeds that I've seen, I still ain't seen one as good as Skins. Skin was the man. Boils made that cross, coming down off of Pedigree and Wacko. Come on, man. Pedigree went on to create Screaming Demon Dogs. Pedigree still running around in Pedigree right now in my Mako dog. I got Pedigree. I got the whole crew. I got the whole Gameville crew and my little puppy. I'm so happy. And I got little man at top and bottom. Yes, sir. And in between. You know what I'm saying? That's that Gameville holding on to that shit and throughout the years. And he look at it, can't do nothing but take my hat off to the man. That's all I can say. He got him out there. I'm gonna be putting up some pedigree to show y'all what he got. But I'm gonna definitely put mine up there. I'm gonna definitely put mine up there. No, I got, it's just, is he gonna run up a tree? Is he gonna run a treadmill? I don't know. Is he gonna do digital dog shows? Is he gonna do some ADBA shows? Or are we gonna go over there to Tom's and run around? I mean, it'd be a good thing when you got a going hard dog, something that I ain't had in a while. We still create them. Anything that we create gonna be going hard, but the old stuff, no. Historian G-Ville definitely maintained it. But they produced a lot of good dogs. I like SJ and I like Blue. Love them basically. But the shit they had up close that they was doing with tomato and skins and those breeds, they was 38 special. Jimmy. Wiggles. I'm naming champions. This G-Ville doing this shit. Bandino. Yeah, I got the book. Little G, champion. You know what I'm saying? They threw more champions than we threw. Produced more champions than we produced. They had the framework. They took off running with it. And if anybody was able to maintain it, G-Ville was, they did their thing. When I go down, they should be the guardians of the gate. Man, I was looking at, let me see what he said. He said, man, I was looking at the blue pups today, saying to myself, goddamn, these puppies look just like some Mayday dogs. And they act like them. That little goddamn little puppy I got, he put his mouth on everything. I told you the little dude took a pisser and he kicked his dirt. He kicked his legs back like a bulldog, a grown dog. I'm talking about that's how he used the bathroom. His tail be up, pointed out, and he kicks his shit already. 7 weeks old. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, G-Ville, you deserve it. Right? Shit. You the one with the story, bro. Yes, preservation of these dogs is like, come on now, is the key, and he definitely preserved it, John Johnson. Yes, sir. But I'm gonna close it down on that tip right there. I'm gonna give the OG-Ville a big shout out because we always talking about what we did, but shit, G-Ville did a lot. And you're right. It plays a big part that G-Ville just got blessed with the people you meet. And that's the truth. You was running around with all the right people. You had all the right people. You had all the right people. You was in a good place. Deep South, Stone City, hardcore, going hard, T.O. I mean, god damn, man. Don't forget the boys up there that had Wacko and Emmett and Sparky. Gotta eat. Come on, man. We was fast lane. They don't like to hear us say that. They don't even want to hear me say that. That just makes some of these guys just cringe when we say we was fast lane. Yeah, we was nothing but fast lane. When we gonna get these puppies off of Champion Buddy Love? Well, the trip I'm making tomorrow, I'm bringing a female back with me. You know, she needs to get she needs a home. If there's gonna be anything, it's gonna be this breeding here. I'm gonna do this one, then I'm gonna really close it down on y'all. Y'all had me here all night. But the breeding that I want to make is this breeding right here. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, that's the breeding for me. This little female right here. What are you doing, Mike? There you go. This little female right here. We picking up. And this is and she's getting picked up for this purpose right here. I don't want nobody up there banging on the level. Twin. No. No, them ain't gonna be selling none of that. Yes, sir. Give me the number. I know. I saw you looking. Yeah, fellas, this is she's coming in for the sole purpose. If she doesn't go to Mr. Buddy Love this time, she's gonna go to Yellow Dog. But she's gonna be bred. She go to Yellow Dog, we're gonna have a whole bunch of Mayday with the out being the revenge stuff. And as you can see, the revenge stuff, if you don't know what it looks like and stuff, let me just give you a handbook right quick. That's that Garner Red Boy shit there. Yes, sir. Yep. You see who the breeder is.
That's his daddy. Yes, sir. He had a little man sister. Yeah, He produced her. Yeah. Oh, ain't nobody sleeping over here and going hard, man. Ain't nobody sleeping over here and going hard. I ain't trying to brag, y'all. But wait, what? I can't speak up and speak the truth? I'm just speaking the truth. Gangville know I ain't doing nothing but speaking the truth. I told y'all, man, that this dude was the key to everything that we created. He was the key and the major factor. Don't be for him, I would have never got a chance to see Mayday. If it don't be for him, I would have never got a chance to see Grand Champion Ace. These are breeds that he made. He gave us these dogs. He gave us this dog. This boy got this dog. This dog was given to him. This dog was given to this boy right here. And as you can look, you forget, did you see this on the bottom? Yeah. He might take the credit for producing her, but I will tell you who did the breeding. My man did this. Yes, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're going to run into a whole new thing. We're going to put, hey, like he said, we stay within the top 5 of the registered mad list. We play up in that thing. Stay up in there. We stays up in there. So I'm just giving y'all a little quick peek. Big boy from Akron made the breeding with revenge and sincere. That's what I'm talking about. Big boy and them. You're right. I'm from Akron. Did you know that? No debate. Did you know T.O. is a family member of mine? Do you know who had revenge? Do you? You know he sold revenge. You knew that, right? Who had him? Oh, you know Slick Rick? Then you should know me then. I know you should know me then. Cause Lil Rick, that's my boy. Lil Rick would tell you, man, that's my dude. That's my peoples. Yeah, I had all them up under my wings up in Ohio. Yeah, no debate. You know Slick Rick. I love the 357 dogs. Yep, I sure do. Oh yeah. Yeah, Rick was around Grand Champion Satan. Rick used to be the one working Satan, man. PJ charted a whole little clique. Old little Rick was out there. His daddy was a dog man. His daddy had the dog named Kojak. Remember we told y'all in the very beginning, first pit bull we seen for a pit dog was his daddy's dog named Kojak. And we called him, he was a champion Kojak. Okay, which one? Oh, pin it up. Okay. Okay. It's talking. It's saying something. Something talking. Where's that coming from? Hmm. Well, you sure got that one. That was pretty nice. Okay, I see you. I see you working. I see you working. All right, Nate. All right, G-Bill. I'm gonna do this one more. Just one more. Oh yeah, man. We go back way, way, way back. I'm talking about when he was a little jit. He was a little jit. That's my little guy there. To this day. Yep. To this day, little Rick was my dude. We found to the 10,000s. Okay, let me write it down. All right, y'all. He got me going on. Boy, you are my little brother, man. You are my little brother. But you know I got to do it. Okay, hold on. Shit. Let me go ahead and put it on up here. 562 859. Little bro, I'm gonna bring you up, man. Yep, that's one of them right there. Oh yeah. Okay, go back. Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, y'all. Here's another one. Jackson 38 special champion, 4-time winner. Won his first one off the chain in 14 months, made him pick up in 7 minutes from a throat hold. There's the breed. Yeah, now you see why I like that 357 stuff, huh, buddy boy? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's Gangville shit right there. Y'all see what it say? With his notorious rear end style. They took on our bad habits. They don't sell shit. Well, I don't know. They might be selling shit now. Y'all better get it while it's here. Because they really didn't sell dogs. Yes, sir. You turn around there and you add King Kunta and all them other dogs coming down off a little Mayday. That just tell you how good, how that going hard shit really was. That's all. You know, some people just gonna hate the facts the way they is, but we can't do nothing about it now. You can't change the facts. But we can sit here and enjoy it though. I can sit right there and enjoy it all day. I told you I took little Matey at 16 months old and put him on champion on Charlie. Had them wondering, hey, look here. He was looking so good. He went 15 with a great dog. Yes, he did. It made him pick up, to be honest. I wouldn't call it a pickup. I can say it was a roll, but he definitely said that's enough. What he thought he was going to see, he didn't see. He was shocked. And then that's where Akron got introduced to the Mayday dogs. It was enough people who was like, who in the hell is Mayday? And what the hell twin done got there? You know, that was the question of that show that night. What the hell was that twin brought up in here? Rough ass little dog. Yeah, it was. Now you know you got more than this up here, man, but I'm gonna cut you short. I'm gonna leave this one. I'm gonna leave this one and say this one for another day. Look at that, he was killed by his son in a train accident. Yes, yeah, you know why I like 357. There's just one of them. Shit, they had one named Wiggle. I think one of them was off a log head. They made good breedings. Still making them. But you see how the pedigree reads? This is, y'all can hate, talk shit, whatever. This is fast lane shit. I'm just letting you know. I'm just keeping it real with you. You want fast lane shit, you breed fast lane shit. And that's just the way it go. Hey, I appreciate everybody stepping out here and enjoying this little moment with me. G-Ville, next time you want to sit in the chat and sling these pedigrees, you better be on this panel. You better be on this panel. I'm just keeping it real with you. You need to be up here when I start going back through all the shit that y'all created. That was just one of them. Yes, sir. But I'd like to say thank you for everybody for stepping in up in here tonight. You know, I came in late. Yeah, I had to put me a cage together for the little female coming in. No, there will be some breeding programs going on real soon. Mr. G-Ville, I see you. You be having that stuff on the ground? Hey. MB for fire. Oh yeah, Mr. Greenville, it would be a blessing to have you on here if you're up to it. Yeah, man, look, He's sitting back there in the bullpen. You got to twist his arm. There's a couple guys that be up in here, they be sitting in the back street or sitting up there in the chat room, don't be saying nothing. We talking about some great dog man too. John Johnson said, tell them one more time, twin. Hey, John Johnson, you go ahead and tell them for me, big bro. I'm going to give you the floor on that one. Okay, Mike, it's your show, baby.
All right, man. Before this boy gets started and start off on somebody slide another pedigree up in here, I got to get him out of here. Hey, I appreciate everybody for showing up and showing out tonight. Hey, fellas, if you learned anything, when I was talking about the fast lane, the dogs in the fast lane, the people in the fast lane, look at the amount of dogs and wins and breedings over that time period that we talk about. That's a whole lot of dogs, a whole lot of time period, a whole lot of people, a whole lot of connections, and a whole lot of doing dogs. And them people didn't just get there by just talking about it. Them people got there by being about it. Now, we know history has gave us a whole lot of bullshit, but it was more real shit than it was bullshit. You had to kind of like sift through to see the real shit. And if you wasn't in it to be doing the real shit, then you had these conversations like I see the conversations that we have today. One of the reasons why I wanted to have this, because unless you've been there, unless you've done that, how in the hell can you talk about something, that you heard, and necessarily just because you heard it don't make it right? What we try to do is bring to you the facts. Here's what's been done. This is what the people were doing. This is what they had on their minds. This is why we can sit down and talk about them, because we can find these people. You can go look in the Sport and Dog Journal and find these people. I can't talk about people that we can't find, and not saying we knew everybody, but then we knew enough people that we got around to see all the ones that mattered, that hold some type of respect in the fast lane. So yeah, of course, when I sit back and Mo don't look at other podcasts. I do. When I see something and I hear something, and I'm not as knowledgeable as he is, but I've been around long enough to know when something don't sound right, and it's almost like a joke that people carry on with that mentality. But when you sit down and you have a show like tonight and just look, fellas, look at this shit. The Garner shit is not new to us. This shit's not new to us. It's actually old, because if you look at Storm and them's pedigree, you're going to find Frisco back there. You're going to find Bailey's Bingo back there. You're going to find Stompanato back there. As you know, we showed you a little bit of T.O. and some of the other shit that's back there. You're seeing the Gameville work is back there. Just look at that little community right there. And we just talking about fast lane dogs. See, I don't see these type of dogs on everybody else's show. I don't see people talk about these type of dogs on everybody else's show. And I think one of the reasons you don't see these type of dogs on everybody else's show, because everybody that's out there wasn't doing this type of shit. So I would expect their conversations to be a whole lot different than ours. But the purpose of showing you this shit is to show you we were not the only ones doing it. I remember a comment when somebody was like, you know, certain person was all, but where's that shit now? And you never ever heard me comment when that person talked about what we did and our shit just disappeared. You never heard me come back and say one damn word to that shit because I'm listening to a person who just don't know. But I guarantee you, if I talk about that conversation, I ain't got to say much. All I got to do is show you. Are they really gone? Are going hard dogs? Did they just die off when we died off? We showed you a couple people who took going hard dogs, you know, and did a lot of things with it. Don't mean they disappeared. My thing is, the proof is in the pudding. If you got eyes you can see, then you should understand, no, they ain't all gone. They never were ever all gone. And that's the good thing about having these type of conversations, because it's hard to have a conversation with a person who has really done this. It's hard to have a conversation with a person who ain't never done this, because it becomes a short conversation. So that settles the issues about dogs disappearing. Remember, Going Hard never had a line of dogs, fellas. For us, anything that Going Hard used was going to be a Going Hard dog. Anything bred with Going Hard in it, and we used, it was going to always be a Going Hard dog, regardless of how it was bred. How they used it, how they switched it around. Gameville made their own dogs that they still call Going Hard dogs. But it's their version of the Going Hard dog. So one thing they never got away from, fellas, and I tell y'all this all the time, without a strong foundation, your building ain't gonna be shit. And I mean that. The foundation has always been the key, because when you go to building that building and with a strong foundation, that means you can put that building together, because now you are the engineer. You got a stable foundation. Now it's up to you to put the building there. And how long that building is able to stand there will be based on the work you put in. And I can tell you, out of all these pedigrees and dogs we talked about and these great kennels, they didn't get there by talking about it. They got there by putting it together and putting it to the test and doing it. That is a major note. If you was writing down notes, you want to take something with you, don't, take that with you. Give you something to really talk about. Because the reality of it is, don't talk about us. Keep the conversation on the dogs. Because I'm pretty sure if you take a look at what the dogs was doing, then these dogs are worthy of talk about. So how are you going to talk about the dogs without talking about the people with the dogs? They worked hand in hand. Some people might hate seeing that or hearing that, but it's not meant for you to like what's being said. It's meant to show you why we're talking about it. To give you an insight that if you do what these people were doing, this is what you were going to get. Different names, different dogs, same outcome. And if you can't see through that, then maybe this community is built up of people who just want to be instead of trying to be. See, there's a big difference between the two. We was trying to be like them. by doing what they were doing. A wannabe is going to sit back, well, I want to do this, but I ain't going to do nothing to get it done. But I have a lot to talk about because they think they know what they're doing, but you ain't never took your experiment and put it to the test to find out if what you were thinking you was going to do, what you wanted to do, now you want to try to do it. Hey, the conversation don't end until how did it turn out? Because that's what really mattered in the end. So take that, ride with that, learn from that, and be careful of the bullshit that you hear. Because over here, again, like I said, we ain't over here trying to sell no dogs. We ain't over here trying to teach y'all how to match dogs. All we doing over here is trying to discuss the history of the great dog men and the dogs that we were capable and had the pleasure of knowing these people and seeing these dogs. And if you've never seen it, we're going to try to bring you into what we actually seen and what we actually know about these people and their dogs. Because if you can see and you can hear, then it's easy for you to just sit back and analyze what you've seen and what you just heard and utilize it to how it's going to help you. I don't do this, and I know my brother don't do this for y'all to run out and have a conversation and talk about they said this, they said that, or misunderstanding. Because most of the time, you know, Mo might be getting old, but he ain't that damn old, and I know I ain't that old. I know I forget a lot of shit too. Age has a lot to do with that. Many years have gone by, but we didn't come into this thing to sit here and feed y'all a bunch of bullshit and lie. Our thing was to share and give the respect to the men of the past, the ones you can't see or read about in a book. Somebody has to make sure that they get the recognition that they all deserve. We just doing our part, but it's so much that could be done to help that move that along. But at least try to move it along with facts and the reality of sitting down, standing behind what you're saying, and show people why you're talking about this dog and that kennel. Because we're not telling you this to make a great story. We're telling you this to show you that, hey, fellas, this is possible because it has already been done. Regardless of what you do and how you do it with your dog. But the fact is, if you're trying to do something, don't talk about it, be about it. So I need y'all to help me out here. I need y'all to help me out here before I get up out of here. And I need y'all to give me some damn, like I said, big shout out to all my people out there in the Shark Tank, big people out there on the back street. Hey man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Please hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And do me a favor and give me the goddamn thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles. Muscles. Give it again. Muscles. Now, give me some damn
roses. Roses. We need them damn roses. Yes, sir. Have some out there, fellas. Get that keyboard and just lay down on it, man. We had a good night tonight. Very interesting, man. Shout out to all my fellas out there who put that out there, man. Good conversation. Good talk. For sure.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to another one of them dog, man. I always say sitting back there on the back street, and every once in a while they reach in here and show their face. They ain't seen a comment yet, but I know my family's out there, and that's a big shout out to my main man, Fort Lauderdale D, representing. I see you, fam. MB45, I want you to know, fam, I see you, fam.
Big shout out to Triple M.
Want to give a big shout out to my man Bloodthirst, #1, aka Havoc 360, always showing the love, always showing up and showing out. Appreciate the love, fam. Y'all bite down and hit that like button. From my main man, Double M Desbo. Y'all do what y'all do, man. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. And remember, we'll be back here Friday for another show. And we just want you guys to keep doing what you're doing and big showing out. Big shout out to my man Skip Bell, showing the love as always, Skip. Always. You know, and the funny thing is, man, I always see the same old people doing the same old thing. I know I got so many other people in here could do just the same. Fellas, this don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you nothing to just hit them muscles and them thumbs and them roses. But one thing it does, it carries so much weight because it shows us that you appreciate the show. And that's all that matters. Remember, we all live by the disclaimer. You know, times is rough in today's world, but hey, as long as we got history doing it this way, because this is what technology gives us, why don't we and why can't we enjoy it? That's where I'm at on that. We don't have books. We don't sit down and write books. It would be nice if we had the time to sit down and write books, but guess what? We don't, so we're going to do the next best thing and give you what technology has given us and do our best. And I think the effort is worth it because you got to give back when it's giving you so much. And that's all I'm asking you guys to do when I ask for them thumbs up, them muscles, and them roses, because that's all we kind of like asking for. There's nothing wrong with hitting the like button. There's nothing wrong with doing none of this. I think it's going to be always appreciated. And when it comes down to the, as you'll notice, that's yours. When it comes down to, you know, sharing the love with each other, remember we all did this. When we all do this, and I want you to see and understand the amount of people it took for us to do what we did, the relationships it took to do what we did. You would never got that kind of things hating on each other, lying to each other. Remember, we never sold dogs, but then you seen us give dogs to great dog men, because again, why would we give a great kennel some bullshit? If we was bullshit, do you think we could have got half the stuff that we got if people didn't believe that we were going to do the things that we were known to do? No. And this took years, fellas. I ain't talking about no 1 or 2 years. It took a lot of years to be able to do that and be consistent with it, where we can even sit down and talk to you and say, hey, fellas, consistency is a must. What's the best way to get consistency? Show them the pedigrees, Mo. Show them how you did it, G-Bill. Show them how you did it, Hardcore. Show them how you did it, Stone City. Show them how you did it, Fat Bill. Show them how you did it. Everybody needs to show you how they did it and why they hold the respect that they are due. So enjoy it while it lasts, because we ain't promised tomorrow. So before I get up out of here, I just want y'all to know our hearts is with you. Big shout out to all my fallen soldiers who made this game what it is. And all I ask you guys to do, my future dog man, respect the game, stay safe, and share the love. So until Friday, let me do my little outs right here and there. That way, I ain't got to keep worrying about this, because I got to get my music and my talking shit going.
Yeah, we gonna rock out like this, fellas. We gonna rock out like this. Yeah. Hey, don't forget, on the bottom down there, it's Cash App. Yeah. Like I said, big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. Definitely big shout out to all my participants in that Shark Tank. Y'all just keep doing what y'all doing. Yeah. Yo, my man Tico Nicholas, I see you, fam.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cause. The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cause.